umpires tonight, Steve McBurney, Dean Margetts and Stuart Wen. And we're underway. Mumford, Ryder, Watson tried to, so did Kennedy tried to, and the throw, as the umpire's call. Jude Bolton's free from the middle. To half forward Reid, or second grab. Two young players on each other, Carlisle and Reid. And Reid, a good, strong mark to start his night.
Every time you see Sam Reid, he just looks more impressive. He's growing in stature with every game that he gets under the belt. Got a tremendous leap, great athleticism, a really good pair of hands. I just love the way he kept his eyes on the footy throughout all of that.
19th game of his career. From just outside the paint, strikes it pretty well. Touched on the line.
No, touched over the line.
All the way home.
Yeah, look, he's been a while since we've seen a young kid with this athleticism. I think Jay's coming into AFL football. And his ability to take, you see a little throw there coming out, well picked up by the umpires. Just see the movement here. He's a really, really nice athlete. Jumps at the ball, as you said, keeps the eyes on the ball. He's taken some really nice, clean, contested marks, certainly over the last month.
Big job for Jake Carlisle. He signed a contract during the week for an extension. He has conceded an early goal. Wobbly ball up. Stanton dragged. Howlett getting tackled again, too high.
I think Bird's been the tagger for the Swans, and he looks like he's got the job on Stanton.
He has.
Did a terrific job on Higgins a couple of weeks ago.
Going to have to earn every kick, Brett Stanton.
Hocking, heads wide. Davey couldn't take the mark. Carlisle has to shrug that tackle. Back, second effort. Pokes a kick toward half forward. That won't be 15, surely. Hanbury tried to claim it. And the umpire let him off, taken out by Grundy.
He actually did well, Hanbury. He didn't panic. He kept tracking towards the boundary line and then finally released the footy. Handled the pressure well. Alwyn Davey is a player that has to find more of the footy. He's reactive. He needs to read the play a little bit better because he can be so dangerous when he gets involved.
Hanbury to Grundy. That's a little wide. Just outside 50. Not panicking. Myers back. Heppel. Fletcher back into the team this week after missing a couple with the court fly. Great to have Dustin Fletcher back in.
They pressed up really well here, Sydney, as they squared it and went a little bit backwards, the Bombers. They just filled up all the holes.
And he drives a floater. Ryder caught behind, forced to go the fist. Jack straight into Ryder and dropped it.
Great
Can't
tackle.
call that a drop kick.
Great tackle.
And he could load up from there.
We're going to get in quick while he's got Hill one out in the square.
He pumps it in his direction. Hill in a one-on-one. Push. Free kick.
Well, at least the kick was right. Get it down there if you've got a big bloke in the square and give him that chance one out. It was one of those hands in the back that he gets pinged for. Are they in the back or are they in the side? Well, that right hand's right on the jumper number, so you've got to pay the free kick.
The mark to Paddy Ryder sends it back inside 50. It sits a little on Remus. Reid comes back, lends a hand. Kennedy almost cut off by Hill. Still alive though for Hill. Can't shuffle it out. Reid missed it. Push away by Grundy. Caught. No handball. Essendon fans wanted a free. Jack heads wide. Well, it started like it is the match of the round. Critical battle, and it's at a hot pace early.
Yeah, both teams look really lively, don't they? Up and about early. Some really nice tackling and real pressure on the ball carrier at the moment.
Hill the target again. Sure off hands. Grundy. Show some poise. It's a pigeon scatterer. He rolls it outside. Hanbury dragged off it. Watson. Time and space, but then the kick smothered. And well smothered as well. Short pass from Bird. Lewis Roberts-Thompson.
I tell you what, you just can't afford to take that extra step at the moment. A couple of players just dawdling a little bit at this early stage and have got collared. Nice mark from Dennis Lane.
Into the team as a late inclusion with Jared McVeigh out. Centering kick. Sits a little. Ryder goes to fist. Mumford goes in hard, so too Watson. Ball scooped up to Kennedy. Dragged down. And this is being played at a hot pace. Early stages, opening term.
Got down nice and low, Mumford, when he went in for that ball to avoid giving away the high contact free kick. Good tactic, good technique.
Lewis Roberts-Thompson knocked it down. Watson had to keep it low, otherwise it would have been smothered to the midfield. Montfree's a little tap on. Cramery shoots a handball out. Hurley lays a shepherd for McVeigh, and they're away.
Got Hill.
Montfree's held it up.
To get it in along.
And it goes back into the midfield. Remus drops it. Myers shrugs a tackle. Hacks it to half forward. Shaw drops the mark. Hits the deck. Kennedy swoops on it. Parker. Shaw. Kennedy. Again they get out of trouble. Low kick. Reid. The target. Beaten by Carlisle this time. Plays on quickly. Hardingham. Heppel about to be in the spot of bother. Was that a handball? Umpire said it was. Ryder pounces and kicks wide to Davey. Smith with him. Davey wants to take him on the wing. Smothered. A ricochet. Reid. An amazing start to this game. Fletcher. One-on-one. Too good for LRT.
And both teams' defensive transition, Jace, have been outstanding. There's just absolutely no time and space when the ball's turned over. So you can tell, really switched on.
Really important, the kicks that are going inside the attacking 50.
Hardingham, that handball sat on Myers a little. Watson to get them out of trouble. Heads wide. Cramery away from him.
Marked, I reckon.
And then the fist toward the boundary. But that can't be deliberate because it's in a marking contest.
Last two times we've seen the kicks go long to Hill, we said get it down there one-on-one. The first time was terrific because it got one-on-one, but he gave away a free kick. The second one, a little bit too slow. Richards peeled off and spoiled. They've got to be aware that the Swans will do that.
And Teddy Rich is one of the best in that, playing his 150th today. He's been a terrific player, but he really does peel off really, really well.
He might be a little bit lucky to get that, Matt. It didn't look like there was that much in it.
Jetta almost held his ground and Mattner ran into him. Centering kick. Hits the back. Bird. Grundy. Wide. Smith. Could he hit a target? Lewis Roberts-Thompson. Fletcher right with him with the chest. Gets him out of position. Ball in.
We're actually not used to seeing Dustin Fletcher playing tall forwards too often. He tends to sag off and play on one of the mid-sizes, and then he just reads the play and helps out his other key defenders. But he's actually got one of the tools this time in LRT.
Flick down, Jude Bolton. Heppel in the thick of it again. Couldn't get it out. Jude Bolton, where Angels fear to tread as always. And too big a pack for that to come out.
Brucey, what are your thoughts on the Myers-Goods matchup?
Yeah, look, it's an interesting one. It's a tough gig. I mean, Adam Goods runs around a lot, moves around. Myers is probably athletic enough. Question will be if they do get it long and deep. Yeah, Adam, if he gets his contested marking going, Adam, he can be super dangerous on a medium-sized type player.
Stanton couldn't quite trap it. Will tap out Bird. Melksham. Stanton gets a kick out. McGlenn. It'll be coming back. Centering kick. Parker almost did enough. Almost had an arm slap. Jetta gets it out to Hill. Now the Bombers on the run.
No one to kick to.
Remus bangs it forward. And there was nobody home.
No, if you don't keep the forward structure, the Swans will always sag back. They'll have someone behind the footy and they can fumble and do whatever they like because they've got plenty of time and space.
Johnson with that fumble to Shaw to Mumford.
Yeah, I mean, one thing with all your forwards pushing up, which most teams do, but you've got to generally run and carry it. You can't just kick it out of a pack willy-nilly.
Short of the pocket. Reid got a hand on it. Dragged down. Going nowhere, Melksham. Umpire will ball it up.
Here's the marking attempt. Gee whiz.
Ryder with the reach. Hardingham, Hill. Howlett gets out of that with his arms free. Hill goes back again. Melksham hugs the boundary. Cramery with 2 to beat. In fact, make that 3 to beat. Grundy can set it all up again. Shaw.
Just a little bit of composure, I think, for either team at the moment. This is good play, just slowing it down, trying to hit some targets and then maybe find a leading forward.
Ted Richards, as Rosie said, in game 150, ex-Bomber, 33 games for Essendon in an earlier life. He heads wide and will get a ball in.
He wanted a great kick from Teddy Richards there. He didn't really give Adam a chance on the lead or even a one-on-one contest. It was a bit of a half kick that just ended up out of bounds.
Mumford Goods thought he had it. Myers with the steal. Kind of got it, and they've kind of got him. Hanbury breaks free, kicks to the square, off hands, Trent Dennis Lane, swoops, Reid, little fumble, Jude Bolton, kick smothered. Brilliant defence by the Bombers. Can they rush it over, though? They need to somehow. It's threaded through in the middle of the Bird.
Well, he has proved himself a reasonably reliable goal kicker, Craig Bird, when he gets the opportunities, but that was just a tremendous series of contests. Look at the athleticism of Trent Dennis Lane to actually leap up and drag the ball back away from where it could get rushed, and then just a pack of bodies, good tackles and spoils, and a quick little kick in heavy traffic is a really good finish and a good result from, oh, that was a great smother there, a body smother on Jude Bolton's kick, but that's a win for Sydney's pressure.
Coming off a 4-goal game, last game against the Dogs, best return of his career, so he's in good form.
And I think as a tagging player too, he played on Higgins a couple of weeks ago, and he can kick a goal. That's why Stanton's got to be really, really careful when he gets in the back 50, because Bird will make him pay.
Mark from Richards off Hill's kick. He did take Higgins to the cleaners in that game. Bird, Kennedy. And now Goods can get and go if it sits for him nicely. Collects, takes on Zaharakis, runs the 15, sits it up for Reid. Carlisle front spot. Good fist Hardingham. Made it a 2-on-1.
And that's what we spoke about at the other end, Bruce. You're saying how good Ted Richards is. Kyle Hardingham's learning to do that as well. He's played at both ends now, settling down as a defender, and has the great athleticism where he'll be very handy in coming up as third man.
The LRT front spot, but to Zaharakis. Gets it out of the area. It's one-on-one footy at the moment. Davey dragged down. Hanbury, handball out off a couple of heads. Ty Kennelly dives in. Richards waiting for it to come out. Pleading for a free and gets it.
The Swans are doing a terrific job at the moment of just bottling the ball in their forward half. They haven't been able to run it out Essendon at all.
The other thing, Rosie, is it's 6-1 tackles inside 50 in favour of the Swans, which is a pretty telling stat.
Kennelly puts it up for the jumpers. Goods from 4 deep. Almost hit Reid in the head. Parker on the line. Get a ball in.
It was a good call, Dwayne. He put up for the jumpers, but no one put their hands up. A few of them jumped, but nobody actually put their hands up.
Didn't quite put it up enough, did he? Hill, Lewis, Roberts, Thompson. Hill couldn't collect it. Watson does. Got his arms free. Heppel shoveled out. Howlett, well moved. Hocking, Hill, dragged down, no free. Trent Dennis Lane, side of the boot. Was that 15? Hanbury claims the mark. They're about to have another inside 50, the Swans.
Yeah, once again, you know, at least they tried now, the Bombers, to use their hands, but the Swans' pressure's been outstanding.
Heads it wide. Reid the target again and again. The fist. Hardingham sees it across the line. Bombers yet to score. 14 minutes of football played. Jude Bolton hassled off it. Howlett hassled into it. Still under him, and maybe in a spot of bother. No, umpire's do it when gives him an out.
This is a real good press.
Myers on the bottom of the pack.
Sorry, Dwayne, a real good press that the Swans have got set up here. Very difficult for the Bombers to get it out of there.
Nick Malcheski, the sub for Sydney Swans. Michael Ross, the sub for the Bombers, if you joined us late. Hill front spot. Zaharakis, arm held. Howlett toes it away. Jenner to send it back toward goal. That is sensational. Out of nothing.
That just caps a perfect start for the Swans, and that must nearly go down as the highest goal of 2011. That's nearly hit the roof here at Etihad Stadium. They got a piece of this. So many numbers there. A quick scrub off the ground, and then this thing goes into orbit. Look at that, it's up in the lights before it comes down about a metre over the goal line. What a fantastic finish.
Pick has mentioned the press, and that goal was really as a result of the Swans' press, because the Bombers tried to get that ball out 3 or 4 times, and just the pressure, the enormous pressure of the Swans forward, it created a goal. And Jeddah obviously is the one that is able to kick it.
Hill, perfect foot down to Watson, to half forward. Johnson seeking the line, I think accidentally, to be genuine. Had some success, James Hird.
Just interesting too, Jace. You mentioned before Fletcher's role. He's now on Trent Dennis-Lane. He's normally playing on a half forward, and when the half forward goes up, he's dropping off. But it seems that James Hird's comfortable having Fletch deep and not the one that's actually peeling back to help the other defenders.
Short throw in, and Mumford edged under it by Hill because they were running forward. Gets the free. Jetta off the bounce. Jack just had it and left it behind. So Jetta's man Heppel to Watson, to McVeigh.
Oh, there's a hand pass.
Hill, oh, he missed.
And then opposite.
By Meyer.
One great hand pass from McVeigh, which was a dart over about 15, 20 metres. And then David Hill just missed his target straight out of bounds. That's a beauty coming in, and that's a shocker going out.
He missed him by so much, you could almost have called it deliberate. There wasn't anyone in the area.
Yes, you're right.
Mumford taken off it. Hocking, roller to half forward. Remus edged under it. Mattner gets back. Ridden a little. Watson, clever. Got to his feet quickly. Gave to Jetta. Pumps it towards goal. It's all about the bounce. Unkind. Davey can't keep it in, and we'll get a ball in. Two Jetta cousins playing against each other tonight. And unfortunately for the Bombers, Leroy didn't get the luck Lewis got earlier. Off the ball in. Keefe.
Tell you what, they were having a real win tonight so far, the Swans, is Grundy on Hurley. Hurley, we know, is a little bit of doubt about his foot, but he hasn't had a possession yet. Grundy's had 6 possessions, but 4 rebound 50s. So right on top of that, Jules.
Good spot for a ball in, though, for the Bombers. There is Hurley going at it. Finally gets a kick. Smothered. Watson, almost a kick. Smothered. Keefe couldn't get it away. And so the hot pressure down Essendon's end this time. Umpire will call for a ball up.
I tell you what, the Bombers players have hardly been able to get a free possession, have they? Every time they've got the ball, there's been a Swans player to tackle them. Even there, it looked like it was going to be a goal. It's a terrific tackle.
Mumford eats Hurley out of it easily. Hanbury, dangerous spot to be handballing. Jetta thought he was going to get a toe on it. Still alive, pushing the back. Bomber free. And Remus will take it. 18 points the margin. Bombers about to score for the first time tonight at the 18-minute mark.
Well, not before time, and they've had to do it the hard way. It's taken a long time and a free kick in congested play, but they'll take the goal from Remus just to get themselves into the game.
Could be the hard starter they needed. Bombers are on the board.
Yeah, the pressure of the Swans has just been terrific, and ironically, I think it was just a tackle that was, as we see here, well, Marty Mattner did a good job. Robbie kick out, and then just, unfortunately, the second tackle just fell over the top of him. So it has been the pressure that's got the Swans in front by originally 3 goals, and then the pressure that's got the Bombers a goal from an indiscriminate free kick from Marty Mattner.
Coming off a 3-goal game against Collingwood last week, Kyle Remus. A game which Essendon was in for 2.5 quarters. Started a little slower in this one. Goods to Jetta. Breaks through the middle. Takes them on. Might go for goal from 50. Put the Jets on. Burn them off. And the kick wasn't equal to it.
Well, it's a shame, but I will say this. A tremendous chase from Jake Melsham, who a little bit quicker than I'd given him credit for, because he was keeping pace with Lewis Jetta at the end of that run, and he made him kick it before he could actually steady. He had to kick it at full pace, and that's credit to a chase that often goes unnoticed.
Monfries to the wing. Another hard clash. Players diving in. 19-6.
Just have a look at Jake Melsham, number 17 there for the Bombers. He just didn't allow him time to steady and straighten up. He had to keep running away from him and at full pace.
It's really difficult to kick a ball straight when you're running at full pace like Jetta. You're right. He just didn't have those 1 or 2 steps as Melcham was chasing him to steady himself.
Bolton, Hanbury, Reid, Trent Dennis Lane working inside 50. Lewis Roberts Thompson rolled. Kennedy stripped of it. Myers does well. Jetta out wide. Dyson. Now the Bombers away with some space. Back to Jetta. He can have his turn to get and go. Takes on Kennedy. Can't shrug him. Splendid tackle. Almost threw that away. Crameri gathers. In turn gathered by Johnson. It's playing a cracker pace now. Watson to Hill.
It's the one. We've spoken about it. If you're going to play the big bloke there and they'll alternate Ryder and Hill, you've got to give them opportunities in the air. He gave a free kick away early. That one was against Grundy. This time it's Ted Richards. And a good high kick from Jobe Watson gave him the chance to reach up and grab it at a point that Richards just couldn't get to. Oh, don't tell me.
I won't tell you that.
Yeah, stubbed his toe. How low did the ball go?
I mean, it's one thing to have the big fella up there, but if you can't kick the goals, it's not much point. But
Not from 20 out directly in front.
No, that's right. But your point about Jobe Watson's kick, it was an absolute perfect kick to a tall forward. And then Hill really needs to convert those.
Mumford. Jude Bolton bumped on the kick. Fletcher attacks it. And straight through his legs. Might result in a goal. Goods gets it from Jack. Strolls in. And he misses.
Oh, are you kidding me?
This is crazy.
Why wouldn't he have a bouncer, is he? He's 10 clear. He could have bounced it.
I can't answer that question. That's
anything you can do, David Hill, I can do better.
The ultimate even upper, isn't it, really? Hill misses from 20, and that's probably a worse miss from Adam Goods down the other end, if that's possible.
Those two kicks are disrespectful to the quality of the clash that we've had thus far.
Ryder. Good grab. Not paid it. McVeigh. Davey left it behind. Smith. McGlynn. Kennelly. Jack. Goods to make amends if he goes. Arm knocked. No free. Carlisle arms free. Dyson hugs the line. Fletcher. The outer side. Jetta and Shaw. How will the umpire read that?
Got him.
Yeah.
And some happy supporters with that decision. Thumping the fist.
Got to be happy with this game in general.
It's a cracking game, isn't it?
Aside from 2 kicks.
Ryder. Maybe fatigue's getting them. McVeigh. Crameri. Monfrey's off hands. Maybe a little high. Got a short option or a long option. Hill. He goes for Hill. It's beaten for it by Grundy.
But see, that's the complete opposite of Jobe Watson's kick. Jobe Watson sat it up in the air. Angus Monfrey's tried to anticipate where David Hill would lead to. He's not going to beat Heath Grundy on the lead. He's going to beat him at the highest point up in the air.
I also think that's a better matchup for the Swans, Grundy versus Hill. Teddy's probably just a little bit light, whereas...
Yeah, well, he goes to Hurley now, and Grundy goes to Ryder or Hill when they're playing forward.
Alex Johnson sits it up. Reid gets in position, and Carlisle beats him again. No wonder they signed him on a long-term deal this week.
A couple of young guns that I think we're going to see a lot of over the next 10 years or so.
It's game number 6 for him, game number 3 for the year. Crameri jumps. Back of the pack. Hanbury ran into that tackle, gang tackled, no prior. Tied up, ball up, surely. Liam Pickering.
That last Sydney entry here, you can have a look at it. Kennelly gave the ball to Jack. Now, he should have used O'Keefe here, who's only had the one touch. Hocking doing a really good job on him, but you want to get a player like O'Keefe into the game, and that would have been a goal-scoring opportunity.
Yeah, good call, Pickers, and he's a better kick than Jack as well.
There you go. O'Keefe gets it on cue for you, Pickers. Heppel, good mark. An outstanding season, and that's why he's the favourite for the NAB Rising Star. Until that kick, Reid. It's hard to kick with the outside of the foot, as so many players do these days. Handball sloppy. Parker can't cut it off. Neither can Hocking. Reid mops it up. Jetta, Kennelly, O'Keefe. He sits that up. Dyson can't take the mark. Jack almost worries him out of it. Handball back. Heppel. Zaharakis. Stanton. And we can all take a breath for the first time in this game.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of scrubby kicks going forward, but it's more that implied pressure, Jace, I think. I mean, a couple of times guys have been free both ends of the ground, but expecting to get tackled and probably haven't used the time that they really had.
Grundy to half forward. Carlisle again!
He's got his confidence up, starting to grab him very cleanly.
It's amazing
on here.
for a man whose man kicked the opening goal of the match 1 minute in.
Just came off the bench, Joe Watson.
So Watson to the midfield. Hill can get and go. Looks up, needs a handball target. Myers. Remus. Good hands.
Yeah, and that's the one that you do put out in front because Remus is a quick runner.
Back to the square. Not sure what he was doing there.
I think he saw the open goal square and thought he could dribble one through, but a little bit offline. Just haven't made the most of their opportunities, the Bombers. But even though they're a couple of goals in front, Sydney, it just feels like a really even ball game.
Yeah, they've certainly evened up the last 5-10 minutes, the Bombers.
Sure. Dances around with ease. Hurley didn't really have any dropping pressure on that foot just then. He hasn't had a big first term. Going back after missing a week with a hot spot. Goods, short. Fletcher. He looks in good form after coming back from a couple of weeks off.
It was just a really poor kick by Adam Goods, and he had probably 2 or 3 inside runners as well where he could have given the hands off. And turnovers really costly on this ground.
Didn't hold it long enough according to the umpire. Ryder down to Davey. Sidestep. Ryder. Davey. Smith corrals him. Short. Watson. Hard ball together. Takes on Kennedy. Gives to McVeigh. Back to Davey. Back to Watson. Every possession under immense pressure. Ryder gets a pressured handball away. Zaharakis a pressured handball across the line. 1 minute and 16 from quarter time.
Yeah, I reckon Adam Goods wouldn't like to be on the receiving end of a kick like this. When you're playing on someone like Fletcher, you've got to stop and prop. Just saw Alwyn Davey involved a little bit there. I just think he's low on confidence. He's not backing himself to beat a man and actually take the game on.
Kennedy gives to Goods and he's away. Short pass better this time. Lewis Roberts-Thompson. Down to a minute. Read the target. Full forward. Carlisle gets there for the spoil. Splendid spoil too. Dyson. Hugs the line. Not a bad kick. Umpire has to look out.
He was only 5 metres away, Melcham. I know he was never going to get there, but that's a really tough decision, Rosie.
Well, it's almost an impossible kick for Dyson to screw it back over his head.
And Melcham was the first player there.
It wasn't far away. And a good pluck inside 50 for Parker. Out of nowhere.
Yeah, and that's annoyed the Essendon supporters, knowing that it came from a kick that they felt was dubious for the penalty delivered out of bounds against Dyson. But that's a good contested mark there in between a couple of defenders.
He's held his spot in the team after playing in that big win over the Dogs a couple of weeks ago. That's horrendous.
Poetic justice, the Bombers fans will say. Well, they've had some bad misses at both ends.
Yeah, they have been. But I really generally thought Dyson was actually trying to get the ball up the line. He screwed it around his body. And you mentioned Melcham was there anyway, but I'm not sure how he could have got it further back in the corridor anyway.
Keppel hugs the line. Dyson down to 15 seconds. Doesn't need to do anything crazy here. Sits it up for Hill to go, and he has to go. And he goes a little early. And untidily, bang, that hurt. Mumford went down. He's up quickly, back into the contest. It's quarter time. And I'm not sure we've seen a quarter played at that kind of pace all season. Scoreline says the Sydney Swans are on top by 13 points. But this one's a tight one. Swans 3-3-21. Essendon 1-2-8. Michael Ross for Essendon in game number 2. And for the Swans, Nick Malcheski. Their sub. Second term underway. Umpire allows that bounce. It was a contest. Jack. Hanbury. Bird. Now Goods attacks it. No arm. Yes, there was an arm slap. Play on to advantage. Hanbury can take off. He elects not to. No one on the mark. Sits it up for Reed. Carlisle goes with him. Ryder back of the pack. Hardingham needs to get a kick away quickly. Just gets it on the boot. And it was a splendid kick to Hocking.
There's 2 Swans, one on either side, and landed straight in Hocking's hands.
It's a little fortuitous, I think.
Yes, just a tad.
Carlisle out wide to Myers. Melcham. Jake can go. Ton of space ahead of him. No one comes at him. Hill the target, he left it low. Grundy takes an easy mark.
In the end, Michael Hurley turns around and said, what was wrong with the short lead I gave you? And then you kick it over my head to a bloke that's not leading.
Yeah, well, you're absolutely right. Hurley was leading. Hill was looking for the long ball over the top. He missed Hurley on the lead and kicked it short to Grundy.
Okay, Gill another chance here, Melksham. Who will he give it to this time? Takes off, takes him on, gives to Cranmery by hand. Hurley gets it eventually, and his pass to Jetta is better.
That's a kick that you can't do anything about as a defender. Didn't sit in the air at all. Had penetration on it low, straight out in front of Leroy Jetta, and he needs to settle things down for the Bombers with a really good kick here.
Coming off a 3-goal game last week against Collingwood as well. On his back.
20 seconds now.
He's one of the 7 Bombers that have played every game this year, so having a pretty good year. Opens the angle up. It's across the face. Hill can't get a run at it. Grundy, he wasn't really content to let that roll across. Matner to himself.
Nothing out here.
No, he's got nothing. He's in trouble now.
Just pumps it. Lewis, Roberts, Thompson and Fletcher. Ryder with them both. Fletcher's fist wins out. Little fumble, Watson. Spent that before it earned it. Hanbury gets the handball up. Ball still alive. Zaharakis kick smothered.
Yeah, you're right. Well, I think he'd spent it twice, Joe Watson, working out what he was going to do with it before he actually took possession. Good spoil over the top from Fletcher. He'd roved it once, and then he went and picked it up the second time. Both times he knew what he was going to do with it, but he never took possession.
Flick back, Paddy Ryder, superb, except the Goods grabbed it. They grabbed him, and he just dropped it. No free. Hurley, I think he was told at quarter time, get your hands on the ball. Hocking, Watson, well played. Myers, French his way through traffic. Left foot kick across the face. And out on the full.
He's really important for a big guy because he's got such good skills, Hurley. Not only takes contested marks, we saw that kick the Jetta before, and also really nice hands off the deck.
Kick was poor. Cranmery cuts it off. Hurley, the man you speak of, to full forward. Hill gets back, and he won't miss from there, surely.
Yeah. I think that was a tough one for Reece Shaw. Reece Shaw was running towards the ball. David Hill coming back, and maybe he was able to throw his body in there, but all he would have done was wreck himself, I think. Whereas it's one of those where you know he's going to get there marginally before you, and there's not much you can do about it.
Mr. Sitter in the opening term. Oh, squeezes that in.
Gee.
And it's a one-kick game.
Yeah, Hurley's really got involved in the game. Mentioned Dwayne before, and not a great kick from Grundy. Bit of a fumble from Johnson. Amazing number of times fumble turns into goal, and a nice kick to the top of the square. Absolutely perfect where you want it. Yeah, it's sure it's just a step too late. Hill, big body, but really nice kick from Hurley. Just a perfect spot, top of the square. Big fella running back, protecting himself, running with the fly of the ball.
James Hird deciding to go with just David Hill and Paddy Ryder tonight. Tom Bell-Chambers not part of the 22. The ball up. 6 points the margin. The Swans kicked the first 3 goals of the game, if you join us late. And the Bombers have kicked the last 2. Fantastic crowd in. Pivotal battle. Bombers will be in the 8th tonight if they win this. Bird pumps it inside 50. Carlisle tracked it. He read that bounce beautifully. And you've got to read the ball on the way down. You can't wait until it's bounced. Try and get an idea as to where it's going.
Yeah, Bird's doing a really good job on Stanton too. Stanton's only had 3. Bird's up to 6 and kicked a goal.
Stanton rolls it out, but Goods will send it back. Tough kick to mark. Good spot though. Carlisle again.
Has he got a taste for the mark?
Quick play on Watson. Hardingham can't mark. McLean. Run down. Is it in the back? He rolled in Jetta. It's going to be one or the other. It's either ball or back.
That's one of the. It's frustrating. When the ball spills free, the umpires so often let it go. And as soon as he gets tackled, the ball is underneath the bodies, but it's come out. You'd like to see the tackle rewarded.
Well, he took 4 steps then, McLean, so I don't know how it can't be holding the ball.
You had Pryor. Even if the ball's not free in the tackle, if you've had Pryor, that's got to be ball. Dyson gets it out. Fletcher. Clever roll. Monfries or the line. He took either. 21-15. The Bomber fans know how big this is. Just 3 games left after tonight for the Bombers. They've got round 24 off. They've got to buy. They need to be winning now. Goods pokes it inside 50. He tells Lewis Roberts-Thompson, I'm still coming. Gets it to Reid. Handball smothered. Jack taken over the line. Behind.
Gee, that was clear direction from Adam Goods, wasn't it? You, Shepherd, I've got the ball.
It looked like a traffic cop, didn't he? Stop. Hold it up. It was good play by Adam Goods, eh? Look, Lewis Roberts-Thompson looked like he was going to come and get the football, but Adam said, no, Lewis, just stay back there, son.
We've got a Bomber in trouble here. It looks like Zaharakis. He's in the hands of the doctors, and they're saying off he comes.
And he's a player they can't afford to have off the ground. He's been scintillating form in the last month.
He did hurt that elbow against Collingwood last week. We'll find out from you shortly if he's just dazed or whether it is that elbow that's giving him a problem. Monfries, Hardingham. Bombers go inside 50 or on 50 as Richards flies, leaves it behind. Shaw. Couple of options. Now needs to pick one as Davey comes at him. Johnson. Heads wide. Lewis Roberts-Thompson. Fletcher works his way to the front. Well played. Stanton. Got it up to Howlett. Toes it away. Smith. Caught by Howlett.
Oh, had to be going.
Didn't get a kick away. It didn't appear to. And the Bombers fans think they're hard done by.
I reckon Alex Johnson just needs to think about his decision-making. The choice to kick to a 50-50 against Dustin Fletcher probably isn't in the end a 50-50. In actual fact, you know Fletcher's going to win more than he concedes. Needed to pick a better option.
Zaharakis back on, boys. So just had a look at that elbow and he's back on the ground.
Gee, that's good news, Pickers, because he looked a bit sick and sore.
Howlett gets it inside 50. Cramery. The Heppel caught by Hanbury. Ball still alive though. Johnson needs to run it. Crowd work deliberate. They won't get that.
Tell you what, they're going nuts down
that's 50.
here.
That's 50. Madner tried to kick out quickly and Jetta just interfered with the kick. And that's cost them 50 metres. And I tell you what, the Swans have got a few running ahead of the footy.
Well, the crowd's getting very much involved. Oh,
it's just a tap. It's just a tap
out of his hand.
He actually played it well, Madner. Oh, they're away.
So Mumford can get and go. Davey runs him down almost. Put some pressure on the kick. Hardingham.
You really don't want your ruckman delivering the ball inside 50.
And that kick smothered. This game is being played at a scintillating pace. Hardingham to Jetta. Heppel goes back. Hardingham makes it somebody else's problem. Magna,
Take
Mumford. This kick a little better. Goods tracking it, got it.
Well, that's exactly what Paul Roos spoke about before. The test for Myers will come not running around because he's a good athlete, but when that ball is sat up in the air and Goods has a run and jump in it, can he match him in athleticism? Maybe not.
He's coming off a 34 possession, 3-vote game. The last time he put the jumper on, Adam Goods. Such a dominant factor in many games. From 45, and there's the money shot. Straight through the middle.
Once again, there's some really good pressure coming out of the Bombers' defence from the Swans forwards. And there's a scrubby old kick. We can see it here. I think it was Hanbury coming across, putting a smother on. Misses the smother, but at least the kick then went to Marty Matner. And take two. Mummy had one of those before and kicked it straight to the opposition.
The good thing was he didn't have time to think about it. He just threw it on the boot.
And put it into a really dangerous area. And Adam Goods, when he's running and jumping against a smaller defender, is going to create some problems.
Still play his 300th game this year, Adam Goods. They'll need to go deep in the finals for him to do that. In current form, they're certainly going to be in September. Stant, a roll at a half forward. Monfries, fantastic pick-up. Handball not so good. Watson goes back to get it. Threads his way through some traffic. Dyson short. Cramery, maybe just beyond his range and knows it. Lead comes. Sets it up, Heppel got a hand on it, spin, kick, clever, Jetta, he kicks! There's your goal of the night. Instant reply, Bombers.
Yeah, exciting stuff for the Bombers there. Got a centre clearance. Watson involved in the wing. Crammery, a bit of a scrubby kick, went off the side of the boot. Good contest from Jetta. Just that bounces up to Heppel. Scrubby kick again. Reece Shaw probably a little bit stiff, but it's the old story. If the forward's in front, scrubby kick from Heppel. I don't think he meant it. I'm not too sure. Maybe I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. And a nice finish from Jetta and a good reply for the Bombers.
Plenty of discussion in the Sydney Swans box.
John Longmire, George Stone, Lee Tudor, John Blakey. Good brains trust.
Yep.
First year as coach for John Longmire. First year as coach for both these coaches. Heppel. Crammery. Drops it. 60 from goal. Corralled with the kick half smothered. Remus from 40. All about the bounce. It's kind. And scores a level.
It's almost come out of nothing, that goal.
I'll tell you who's been involved, Jace, a couple of times is Heppel. Heppel looks like he's moved up to the wing, and we see him there. Lewis Jetta's just got to be a bit careful. Here he is here. Generally played a lot off half back this year, Heppel, but he's moved up to the wing, and he's got involved a couple of times. Nice kick over the top, and again, nice snap. A couple of really good snaps, the last two goals from the Bombers. This looks a lot better in those white boots too, Jace, I think.
I'll tell you what is really noticeable is Essendon stepped up their pressure in this quarter. 12-4 the tackle count, 6-3 in the clearances.
Clever flick down, Ryder to Howlett. Couldn't get the hammer to Watson, who was met high. Free kick. Bombers can take the lead here for the first time tonight.
Because they're certainly going lower and harder at the clearances. They've had some really key clearances the last 5 minutes.
Monfries, Jetta, Davey, stand start, goes for goal. They're in front for the first time tonight, but only by behind.
There's been a really good response from the Bombers. You can see when they get their hardness right and their defensive stuff right and their tackling, they've still got a really nice ability to kick quick scores.
Bombers are looking really dangerous when the ball hits the deck up forward.
Playing one down at the moment, the Bombers have been late with their interchange replacement. Parker to half forward. Trent Dennis-Lane, Myers, Heppel working both ends. Dyson trying to go back out of play.
Well, I don't know if it's deliberate or it's just happened in handover with Goods playing deep forward. Dustin Fletcher's gone onto him. And David Myers has gone on to Trent Dennis-Lane.
Ryder and Mumford could battle that again. Kennedy gets it up, Parker. Jack short on the move. Goods hit the grass. Fletcher collects it. And Monfries can go. Pass option in the middle. It needed to be good, and it is. Hurley. That's a spear to Hill. Wants to pass it.
Tell you what, he lost Heath Grundy on the lead there. I think Heath Grundy got caught ball watching. Didn't realise Big David Hill had got on his bike. He was 10 metres clear on the lead.
Talking about the clearances, obviously, in the tackles. 26-12 is the contested possessions in favour of the Bombers for the quarter as well.
Yeah, it's massive.
Already kicked one to this end this quarter. Splendid. Bombers lead by 7.
Well, down the other end of the ground, I'm not sure it was a great kick. I think it was Kieran Jack going to Adam Goods. I'm not sure it was a great kick. It was certainly a little bit low, but here we see here, it's one that probably Adam would like to have again. It's a tough one, but you know what happens here, we've seen it time and time again at every ground, but more particularly here when the conditions are outstanding. The ball just goes straight down the other end of the ground, and Hill marks and turns around and goals.
Over to John Longmire to work the phone. These two teams met in round 2. It was a close, tight battle. 5-point win to the Swans. It was at ANZ Stadium, and that was John Longmire's first win as an AFL coach. What a battle we've got on our hands again between these two tonight. Dragged off at Melksham. Free kick, surely. They've got the roll. Bang! Goods has put Monfries down big time. Umpires let it play on. Essendon fans are going crazy.
okay. There doesn't appear to be too much in it. He certainly got caught unawares. It's an old-fashioned shirt front.
And does have a little bit of form, Jason, so the umpires might have thought, you know what,
well,
I'm not so sure.
Catches the whole front, but he almost pushes him with the back of the hands a little bit high. Look, it probably should have been a free kick for high contact, and that would just about do it.
He didn't act there, though, Pickers, did he? He may have learned his lesson.
Yeah, may be.
Bounced up like a rubber ball. Shouldn't have played on, though. It would have been an Essendon ball. Quickly down the other end. And it's a Kennedy goal. And it's back to a one-point game.
Well, credit to Angus Monfries, because, you know, he was the subject of a lot of discussion earlier in the season about the fact that he was playing for free kicks. He went down. It was solid enough. I think most of the contact was on the chest. He catches him low, and it's when he flicks the arms up goods that he actually pushes him under the chin, and that's where the high contact occurred. I don't think it was malicious or that severe, but credit to Monfries. He was back up, and he looks okay.
I think your point before, Dwayne, I was right. I don't know why he sort of played on. I mean, it looked a lot worse than what it is, to be perfectly frank. But why he played on was a bit of a mystery, really.
You've got to be clever now. Howlett, umpires don't give you two goes at it. Watson, back to McVeigh. Left foot kick, good to Cramery. But for the chest mark, spills it. Didn't hold it long enough. Goes back, tackles and collects, and takes off. Brilliant move. And maybe Hurley can complete the deal. Didn't collect the mark. Now ridden in the back, surely. Essendon fans continue to scream, and we'll get a ball up.
Well, it was in the back or incorrect disposal, one of the two. There's been a lot of those that look like they're going to be marks that are just spoiled late. Now, what happens here? Is it in the back? Does he get a little hand pass out?
It's a one-point game. Bombers lead. Bounce on 50. Hill the steal. Can't quite get it away decisively. Kennedy tried to rip it free. There's a kick in the middle of all that, and we'll get a ball up.
Boys, just a quick one. 8 Swans players in this quarter haven't touched the ball, and some of their key playmakers hardly getting their hands on the footy for the whole match. McGlynn just 2, O'Keefe 3, Jude Bolton 4.
Well, Pickers, if you have a look at total possessions, it's 118 Sydney, 171 Essendon, so it's a good observation. No Swans getting their hands on it.
Jack hugs the line. Parker ridden a little, got up, got a handball out. Watson, Carlisle, McVeigh, Dyson. Good movement. High kick. They need a mark. Hill came at it, couldn't mark it. Cramery tries to get his arms free. Smith in the traffic. Kennelly, kick half smothered. Bird to make something of it. Remus bursts free, gets the kick away. Awesome! He's got 3.
Well, they're up and about, the Bombers, and the Swans are just hanging on. It's not often you see that much discrepancy. Possessions 177, 124. Kennelly here just tries to get a kick. Magnificent play from Remus. Not only does he smother the ball, he actually breaks the tackle and kicks a goal. That's just super play from your forward. You'd love to see that. And the Bombers are on a real roll at the moment.
Seven points the margin. About to tick into time on. Second term. Well, it's been an outstanding game to watch so far. Mumford in the ruck. Kennedy with the clearance. Johnson playing half forward now. Gathers. Handballs to the feet of Lewis Roberts-Thompson. Toe poke and will get a ball in. Critical game, as we've told you, if Essendon win, both teams will be even on the ladder with 9.5 wins. Although Sydney will at least have a game in hand over the Bombers, who still have that bye in round 24. Monfries caught a little high, no free. And it is almost unfair to be having a bye in round 24. I would have thought they would have given that perhaps to the Gold Coast this year.
Could be a very long wait, Dwayne, too.
Absolutely. Howler, Davey, slick. Hardingham just bangs it, there's no one home. Mumford gets back. Grundy. He's got Shaw out wide. Zaharakis to corral him. Makes it tough for Johnson. Myers.
Really poor option.
Swoops. Stanton. Heppel. Pop pass. Hurley. Back to Stanton. Pumps it long. Goal square. Cranberry. Can't get there.
He got lucky, Reshaw. He just needed to hang on to the ball a couple more steps. He had options opening up. He tried to force it with a bullet pass to a player that had an opposition opponent, an opposition player right on his ginger. Just needed to be the perfect kick to actually hit that target.
Parker.
Throw.
Tight room. Crowd that it was. Grundy rolls it out. Myers gathers. Gives it up. Monfrey centering kick. Jude Bolton stands under it. Leaves it behind. Stanton to try and make him pay. To Davey. Melksham. Left boot. To the goal square. Hill's got 3 to beat. Hanbury.
Yeah, we're just now seeing the Essendon press working really well. We saw in the first quarter the Sydney press being outstanding. Now the Swans are really struggling to get the ball out of their defensive 50.
Jack. Melksham might go with Mumford here. Makes a contest. Stanton just couldn't break free and get the handball away in time. Bird, Parker, Jude Bolton, and now Shaw on the run. Gathers. Trent Dennis-Lane running back toward goal. Got it.
You cannot understand how good that kick from Jude Bolton was. He was just about to get run down from behind. He kicked it over the top of a couple of players, including the intended target, which was Reshaw, who didn't break stride as the ball came over his shoulder and hit him on the chest as he was running at full pace. Weighted perfectly.
It's what you call a press breaker.
Oh, sensational kick.
Multiple moves being made. Fresh players coming on. Trent Dennis-Lane takes some time. Never in doubt. And it's back to a 1-point game.
I think we just saw there that what's the downside of the press, and the downside of the press is once you get it through this area here, you can generally find players running into space. Watch Trent Dennis-Lane here. He's going in behind the last line of the press. Great kick, you mentioned, Jace, from Jude Bolton. Outstanding kick. But we do often see a lot of goals now kick with forwards running into open space because the last line of the press is generally up around the middle of the ground.
Yep.
So if you've got a smart forward and he can get on his bike, he can certainly run back in behind it.
As I mentioned in the intro, late inclusion, Trent Dennis-Lane with Jared McVeigh out for personal reasons, family issues at home. Poor bounce, we'll get another one. 5 minutes 10 left on the clock to half-time.
That last bit of play reminded me a bit about what the West Coast Eagles have done a bit this year, which is get it to St. Embley running into that spot and then on to Nikoski, who's been making forward, making play forward to the 50.
Gee, it looks good when it happens. Looks so clean.
Right up, rides high on Mumford. Towed away. Goods toes it even further. Collects his own ball. Runs inside 50. Does it get any better than that? I don't think so.
Brucey, we see some special things in this game. A little bit of soccer. He got the nice little bounce, but he just reached down with one hand. Watch the pickup here. There's one soccer. Then he gets an opportunity again. Good shielding of the body. Just reaches down one hand, picks it up, and then a little spurt that all of a sudden took him 5 clear. And what a finish. That is a spectacular goal. He's got some grace when he runs.
Well, if anyone's watching at home and have never seen the game before, that fella's won 2 Brownlow medals. There's a reason why he has, because not too many people that have played our game can do what he did then.
The ball up. Sydney back in front by 5 points. And with a spurt, Parker playing a solid game. Jack. Swans with a run on. They've kicked the last 2 goals.
It's been a really good response from the Swans, and you just sense that little press breaker we saw, that Jude Bolton kick getting out to Reshaw and over to Trent Dennis-Lane's been really important.
Reed from nowhere.
He's got a little bit of gadget about him as well with those arms, hasn't he?
He has. We talked about he and Carlisle, and they've both just got those long, rangy arms. He absolutely came out of nowhere here. We just watch him here. Mummy's a big fella. There's Fletcher, and just reaching over the top. Thank you very much, Shane. Get out of my way.
He's already kicked one. Just to push the lead out to 11 points. They led earlier tonight by 18. And he's got 2.
Not sure how intentional the little instep kick was, but he got a serious range of left to right on it. But this is a spectacular mark. He's just getting up high, reaching across the top of a couple of them. I don't know if he's going to fill out at all. He's going to turn into a really powerful man, this bloke.
He's a steal. I think he was a mid-range, second round, third round draft pick. He's certainly a steal at that.
Yeah, you did well there, Rosie. Pick 38 back in 2009. He's one of yours, no doubt. You nailed that pick.
Yeah, I picked him. Went over the top of the recruiting blokes. Great, really good pick.
He's one of those blokes I think was a young draftee, Rosie.
Yeah, absolutely.
McGlynn to half forward. They're hot right now, and so's Reed hot. Could have got one for 2 half, surely.
He did.
And Parker decides not to play on. And we talked about that earlier, the cleverness of players to realise we're better going back to the bloke who got the free.
Yeah, the Bombers fans didn't like it, but it was there.
I know all the recruiters say it, but they're always surprised when a player gets to a certain pick. But we were generally surprised. Kinnear Beatson and Rick Barham really liked this boy, and he was young, but it was certainly a bit of a surprise he was still there at such a late pick.
For a 17-point margin. And here's the hot man. He's got 3.
With 9 possessions, 6 contested, 3 goals now to his name. His opponent, Jake Carlisle's also had 9 possessions, 6 contested, but he's got 3 kicked against him. It's a fascinating duel. And you could see even Carlisle there on the replay put his hands up because he knew he caught him high. No arguments about that free kick. But a great finish because he had to kick that from just outside 50.
It's just been a really good response from the Swans. They were absolutely under pressure. They weren't getting hold of the football. Essendon were tackling really, really well. It's just a fantastic response.
4 goals in a row for the Swans. 3.5 minutes to half-time. Umpire says a free. Riders' ball. Crowd show their approval. It's long. Hill. One hand on it. Almost pulled it down. Monfries tried a slick handball. Davey. No prior opportunity there. Dragged down by the head. Zaharakis. Stanton. Ryder. Stanton. Watson. All the time going backward. And Shaw steals and goes. Almost run down. Hamill just knocked. Kennedy spins out of trouble. Hacks it forward. Hardingham. He's got runners on the open side. McVeigh. Spears it up the line. Monfries. Crunched. Matner. McGlynn left it behind. Matner sees the line. And he's gone. Holding the ball. Essendon getting a break or 2 now. Monfries. 2.5 minutes left on the clock. Hurley flies. Back of the pack. Davey pounces. He knocked it on. Remus. Davey. They shared it. Outside of the foot. Smothered. Plays a brilliant tackle. Dives back in. Grundy dropped that. Stanton had him. And he just dumped it.
Holding the man he's paid.
My goodness.
Well, what's a fortune. Gee, there was a tremendous smothering there from Ty Kennelly. He's had a tough old night, but that is a beauty. That's a goal saver.
And 50.
Did he just drop that ball, Heath Grundy?
Well, if he dropped it or if he actually fumbled it as he was trying to sort of grip it to do something with it, but tough decision on Stanton.
Wide ball. Mumford. Hardingham.
Great punch.
Fantastic punch. Hocking to Hurley. He's got one-on-ones inside 50. He needs to pick one. He drops it. back in, gets it back to Hocking, shoots the handball to Melksham, on 50, stand start, he pumps it towards goal! Amazing! Against the flow.
We saw another case there of a player dropping the ball early when he went to actually handball it to Melksham. He fumbled it and then had to recover. Have a look here. He nearly gets run down. Then he sees just he's about to try and handball it. He fumbles it. Finally, Heath Hocking finds the loose man in Jake Melksham. And off one step, that's a serious finish. And one that the Bombers desperately need.
It's a rest for his trouble. Shannon Grant downstairs. Face known to many watching this. 11 points the margin. Ball up with 1 minute 38 left on the clock. Stanton, almost the clearance. Watson, count that as a clearance. Bird gets back. Hocking drags him down. Rolled into the side. Watson again. Can he find a chest? Close to the line and it stays in until Richards cleverly takes it out.
Oh, no way!
You've got to be kidding.
Oh, come on.
And this might be kickable for Hurley.
That is a ridiculous decision.
As a player, Ted Richards did everything that you could ask him to do. No doubt he was probably looking for the boundary, but he made it look like he was trying to keep it in.
He bends it back a little across the face, and that's out of play.
As a coach, you couldn't be angry at a player that does this, Brucey, because he knows it's not quite there. He pretends to keep it in and then looks for his options, and then he gets pinged, and a grin on the face of Michael Hurley.
It was almost over the boundary line when he picked it up.
Remus across the face slightly. Richards, a little gun shy, you'd think. Grundy towards the boundary, it stays in. Heppel over his head. Davey rolled out. We're down to 58 seconds, but you don't want this half to stop.
It's outstanding football, isn't it? It's a great first half.
And we're really no closer to knowing who's going to win it. 7th versus 9th on the AFL ladder. Goods. Bomber fans continue to boo. Out wide, race on. Myers should get there. Down to 45 seconds. Trent Dennis-Lade can't wrap him up. Sweeps the handball wide. Montfries, can he find a chest? You bet he can. Hurley.
Gee, John Longmire will be disappointed with Trent Dennis-Lade. You can see him there, head down. It was just a very ordinary attempt of a tackle on David Myers. He had him. He could have locked up the ball and probably take this lead into half-time. But the fact that he just bounced off, let David Myers go on his way, and they hit a target here. They're now having a shot for goal that they really shouldn't have been having.
Well, that's what happens when you tackle with your fingers instead of your body.
To make it a 5-point lead at the half. Starts it out nicely. Spectacular, as this half has been.
Well, I was going to use the word insipid. I think Pickers has done it for me when he said he tackles with his fingers. Have a look at this. He had to stop prop. Oh, and that's just a very ordinary effort.
Yeah, the Swans coaching staff have been bitterly disappointed. He had him dead to the water.
Yeah.
It wasn't if it was a difficult tackle. That's just a shocking effort from Trent Dennis-Lade.
1 second left.
It really is a momentum killer for the Swans. For Essendon, you love kicking that last goal going into the half-time break.
Siren sounds. Every player about to get a well-deserved rest. The footy gods have pulled this script off the top shelf. It's a 5-point lead for the Sydney Swans at half-time. 9-4-58 to 8-5-53.
Because there's a lot of suggestions coming from assistant coaches too.
Not all of them good.
No, not all of them good.
Second half underway. Let's hope it's as good as the first half. Watson couldn't quite get a handball away. Bird scrambles it towards Reid, who started the fire for the Swans tonight. Hardingham stripped of it by his own man Carlisle. Montfries to Myers just in time. Got a handball out. Goods bangs it inside 50. Clean bowls Parker, rolls to the back. Lewis Roberts-Thompson almost held by Fletcher. Heppel made it a contest. Ball still alive. Lewis Roberts-Thompson trying to get a toe on it. Thinks about it still. Does get a toe on it. It'll be play on. O'Keefe caught. Parker caught. Kicks. Misses.
Gee, they kept it alive. I like the way Lewis Roberts-Thompson used his body just to shield the ball and keep it in the dangerous area.
He's played a pretty good role on. I know he's been the backup ruckman. Lewis has been there the whole time, but when he's down there, he plays a pretty good role on Dustin Fletcher.
Yeah.
Fletcher's only had 7 possessions and really hasn't been able to impact.
Oh, Goods crunch Carlisle. Did he have prior opportunity? Umpire said yes, and it's ball. Adam Goods will line up from 50.
Might have just been searching for a 50 there, Goods. I think a little bit of a flop afterwards, but it was a terrific tackle. As he got the kick to finish off, he'll have to kick from round about the 50-metre arc, maybe just outside it. Let's have a look. Yeah.
One step prior.
Yeah, tough.
20 seconds, Adam.
It's kick 2 tonight. Adam Goods, one of them a contender for goal of the year. Opens up the angle, won't bring it back enough. And flying Kreider takes the mark. Really uncontested in the end. Takes off quickly. Carlisle. Pops it wide. Howlett. Stanton. The 1-2. Goods almost cut him down. Grundy from 3 deep. Free kick against Cramery. It'll be Johnson's ball, and the crowd disagree with it.
Stanton certainly got involved in that second quarter as well, as did Heppel. I thought Heppel was really significant. He went to a wing and became a really creative player. Stanton got a lot more of the ball in the second quarter.
He had a 28-possession, 14-tackle game last week, Stanton. He played some great games. That's a push in the back, surely, to Lewis Roberts-Thompson, but the Palmer fans often don't appreciate it. Jetta, he does play on, but was it to advantage? The kicks are behind.
The umpire actually waved play on well before Jetta even had the ball. He saw it bouncing out in front of him and thought he's quick.
No.
He's going to get there first.
He's not allowed to do that.
Well, that's
That was
he
a strange one.
Early.
He absolutely did that, Jace, didn't he?
Well, he just told Jetta.
Well, Jetta didn't have hold of the ball.
But he was chasing it at full speed, so he figured that was it.
So you have to pull up.
I don't know.
Otherwise, it's play on. Ryder.
He was a hand in the back there, too. I mean, you can get technical on so many of these decisions.
Yeah, absolutely.
But just
Tough
because
game.
your eyes light up and you chase it hard doesn't mean you've elected to play on. Heppel from the wing. Hill. Just inside the line. Good build-up this. Remus calling for it. It's a wide ball, but it's in his direction. Almost grabbed it. Melksham ducks out of or ducks into a Kennelly tackle. Is it ball? Gotta be ball. Kennelly's free.
A little bit unlucky, Jake Melksham. I don't think he actually had the ball there at the end, but Kennelly just kept it around his body when he tackled him. It was a good tackle from Ty Kennelly. Didn't fall into his back.
Hanbury to Johnson to Mattner, who can do as Mattner often does, run and deliver. Big left foot kick, long to half forward. Jude Bolton, not the ideal mark target. Myers beats him with a fist.
Just watching Watson run around. I think Kieran Jack's now got the roll in him. I'm not sure it's a hard tag. But certainly around the stoppages, Kieran Jack can go to him and maybe look to spread off him.
And Hocking's gone to Goods now.
Heppel third man up. Bird and Watson. Watson wins. Monfries through some traffic nicely. Howlett hugs the boundary. Comes in a little bit to Hurley. And keeps his feet nicely. Hardingham pumps it. Kennelly drops it. Danger. Hill. He can't grab it. Tried to shoot it up to Remus. The cavalry arrives. Hill gets it out. Melksham. Stanton. They won't boo him now.
Yeah, look, well done to Stan. He's really lifted his work rate after quarter time. Bird had him covered clearly in the first quarter. Kennelly here just probably should have taken that mark and then went to ground.
Lost his balance.
We saw two Swans players. Teddy Richards went to ground on Hurley and then Ty Kennelly went to ground as well. There's no point. You can't lose your feet. And Stanton working really hard and gets reward for effort.
.15 possessions and a goal so far tonight for Brent Stanton. And it's a 1-point ball game. Mumford and Ryder. Ryder wins. Howlett caught by Goods, dragged down, got a kick away, but it was too late.
That was quick.
Gee whiz.
Goods.
Giving a good run at the moment, Fritzy.
Floats a little. Lewis Roberts-Thompson, front spot. Fletcher so often gets a fist in when you think he can't reach it. Myers, back pocket, sidestep, takes them on with a bounce. Cleverness, arrogance, call it what you like, it worked. Jenner almost pushed off it. Matner seeks the line. Just as deliberate as an earlier one, but not paid.
See, the crowd's certainly getting involved, aren't they? It's quite terrific atmosphere here.
Brilliant run. Ryder knocks it down. Hocking back into the team this week, ties it up. Crowd calling for holding the ball.
The only problem was you don't know who to pay it against because it's sandwiched between two players.
Well, all the Swans players, I just don't like that. I mean, the Swans players all got their arms up in the air, but often that ball will pop out. So you just got to be on your toes. You can't worry about what the umpire's going to do.
Just don't cross to me when the Bombers don't get a free kick, boys, please. I'm not sure that should be going there. What's going on around me?
Jack to half forward, Carlisle and Reid. How will the umpire read that? Ball in.
It's interesting watching Adam Goods. As soon as
Reid's hurt here.
he is a little bit, isn't he? Very proppy. He just rolled the ankle, hopefully.
Quick throw in. Jude Bolton to full forward. Mumford front spot, Fletcher. There's that fist again. Close to the boundary, Carlisle buffeted it out and into the fence.
He's just talking about Adam Goods. When he's legitimately on ball, Hocking goes to him. But as soon as he goes forward, Myers goes back to him and continues the battle.
Now, Reid's coming off here, boys. Looks like he's in a bit of discomfort.
Very proppy, isn't he, Pickers?
He is. Let's keep an eye on him.
That would be a big loss for the Swans. Goods. Secondary tap down. Howlett steals. Myers again. Can he keep it in? He does. And that can't be paid.
Well, that was the same kick Dyson did earlier in the
What
game.
happens? What does he do?
Treads on the back of his foot.
Yeah, I think he just gets tangled up underneath him. Let's hope it's nothing too serious.
Jude Bolton. McGlynn. Got his arms free. Kennelly. Matner trying to thread it through. Zaharakis to steal. He could go for goal himself. There's no one in the square from outside 50. Bombers in front.
Well, while all that was happening, Ryan O'Keefe went down as if shot behind play, and he's going to come straight off. He struggled to get into the game, Benny McGlynn. It's been tough for him. He gets a little bump there from Monfries, but there didn't look to be much in it, Breezy. But Zaharakis, that's a great finish from him.
Yeah, good pressure. Really good pressure from Essendon from that stoppage.
Seeing Reid up and about, which is good news, although they're testing a knee, not an ankle.
Yeah, look at the right knee. They're also having a chat to Ryan O'Keefe on the bench. He just copped a little bit of a bump. It really didn't look to be much in it.
No, it's just innocuous. I think Mumphrey's just running to chase the ball and just clipped O'Keefe.
Jude Bolton scrambles a clearance. Thump back into the middle, but Kennedy was waiting for it. Outside of the boot, Goods drops the mark. Still a chance. Tries to tap it to his own advantage. Fletcher got a hand in there again somehow. Trent Dennis Lane falls, gives Hanbury, manhandled into it. Well played, Carlisle. Comes free. Mumford, not his forte. Amazing. Sydney back in front.
Who said Ruckman can't kick?
Well,
Turned off one step, threaded the needle.
Look, he's just a terrific competitor, Shane Mumford. Really good in the ruck. And he's just his follow-up at ground level is outstanding. He's at full forward here. I think Fletcher might have had him, or Fletcher might have had Goods. Mumford, really nice finish. He just tracks the ball, chases the ball. He's certainly like an extra midfielder when he's playing as a ruckman.
And there's Ryan O'Keefe just shaking the head. He doesn't look completely happy. Keep your eye here. He just gets a little bump. Monfries is just trying to get past him and virtually pushes him off, and down he goes.
Reid's back on there. That's the good news for the Swans.
Yeah, great news, Piggers. He's an important player for them. That was a strange one. Ryan O'Keefe, though, and they're still talking to him down on the bench. The physio having a chat to him, or the doctor, I'm not sure which, but
Yeah, look,
doesn't
clearly
look comfortable.
No, look, clearly got hit in the head, but it was completely innocuous from Mumphrey. Mumphrey's all he was doing was following the ball.
Quick clearance, Melksham. Overheads. Shaw, Kennelly. Spears that, Grundy. They get out of trouble. Sydney by a point.
Oh, got the loose now.
Yeah.
Ted Richards. Shaw can get and go. Open spaces, picks a one-on-one. It's Adam Goods. Bumped into it by Myers. No free. Reed back on. McGlynn, sidestep, keeps it low. Just over their head. Johnson couldn't grab it.
Genuinely struggled tonight, Benny McGlynn. Just 5 possessions, 3 kicks. Only one of those has been effective and hasn't troubled the scoreboard yet. He's an important player for them, but not getting into the contest.
Mumford and Hill. Hill held his ground. Heppel just lost it for a second. Caught. Gang tackle. Ball up. Watson having a rest. Fletcher having a rest. That's a gamble. But they need a rest sometime. Arguably their 2 best players off. Hill. Mumford. Goods. Down to O'Keefe. Straight up in the air. It'll be play on. Carlisle knocks it down. Melksham a handball out. Hocking. Took on Trent Dennis-Lane. Ball in. Get a break, the Bombers.
Got the message at half-time, Brucey. It was a much better tackle by Trent Dennis-Lane.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought he would have wanted to miss another one.
Let's have a look at this. It catches him on the shoulder, not even on the head. Must have just caught him unawares.
Might have got a little bit of ear. Hocking outside of the foot. Good fist away. Fantastic contest to watch. Matner. McGlynn. Keeps it alive. Runs to pocket. Kicks a banana. Freakish. Sydney by 7.
I'm sure someone just said he was struggling to get into the contest tonight, and he goes and does that. There was no angle to work from. He does well to keep it in. It was just a hack kick forward from Matner. He taps it forward. He's got Heppel breathing on his neck, and from right next to the point post. This is a wonderful finish. Did so well to keep it in. Look at the angle. Oh. Every challenge gets answered at the moment. The Bombers had a run on. Now they bounce back with a couple of goals.
And it's just exceptional football. Great individual efforts, but the pressure, there's just, even that goal was under pressure, but it had to be an outstanding banana from the boundary line.
No clearance from the ball up.
Shouldn't really be that surprised. It means a hell of a lot, this game, for both clubs. As we said earlier, I think the Bombers probably out of business if they can't win tonight, and Sydney wanting to shore up their spot in the top 8.
Fletcher back out there as you saw. Hocking dragged down. Mumford tried to shoot it out. In fact, the umpires seen something in there, and it's Mumford's ball. Wanted to handball it off initially. Pumps a kick to Goods. Fletcher caught behind. Still gets a fist in. Hits the deck. Trent Dennis-Lane shrugs one tackle. Caught by the second. Howlett tried to thread it through. Trent Dennis-Lane back in. Gets it up just in time. Jack, stolen by Jeddah. Gives to Myers. Doesn't want to have a bounce this time. Watson. Short 15-metre pass to Zaharakis.
Yeah, but it was a good cool head in traffic. They needed to stop and just maintain possession and have a look. And he found the one target that he could hit.
Myers. Stanton.
And talk about cool heads too, Joe. Just Dustin Fletcher just doesn't panic. He's just got such long arms. He can get to so many contests.
Hanbury's hurt. Hurley's hurt. What a collision. Zaharakis in the meantime hands it up. Players still down behind play. Mumford tries to get it. Davey steals but lost it. Kennedy, they're still both down in the hands of trainers. Myers, McVeigh, and now Heppel. He can get and go. It's 17 on 17 right now. Zaharakis just inside 50.
There are a lot of trainers out there for both players. As we see Hanbury gritting up. Have a look at the clash. Eyes on the footy, both of them. Hanbury coming back with the flight, gets poleaxed. That had to hurt.
take about, Pickers mentioned the stakes, and that just is an unbelievable collision. Two players just going absolutely flat out of the football.
Both players are coming off. In the meantime, Zaharakis from 50. Was it touch? Ted Richards says yes. Umpire says no. It's a one-point game.
Yeah, really good contest. We see Hanbury coming off, and Hurley was coming one way. Hurley's a big, big guy. Hanbury's probably about 5'10", and Hurley's about 6'4". Really nice finish here from Zara.
Was it touched? The Swans were adamant that Mumford had touched it. He thought he'd touched it. Richards heard him touch it. The goal umpire didn't agree.
Daniel Hanbury behind there, in pain.
Well, Hurley's fought it off. He's pushed the trainers off and he's gone back forward. He's staying out there after going down and holding his ribs. And Ted Richards immediately into him.
From the ball up, Hawking. Sydney by a point. Davey. To send them inside 50, goes for Heppel. 60 from goal to Stanton, 70 from goal. Wants a pass target, 50 from goal, Watson. Top of the square, Hill on the move. Got it, tried to handle it quickly. Missed the target. Trent Dennis Lane, got it from Jack. Spins out of trouble. Dyson stands under it. Hardingham can't pluck it. Gathers his own crumb and pumps a torpedo. Hill can't get near it, and Johnson takes the mark.
It's as if on cue, isn't it? The Bombers, after Sydney kicked a couple in a row to come back into it, it's the Bombers' turn again. Relentless pressure.
Hardingham. Spear. Smothered. Goes back in. Knocks it away. It's been played at a cracking pace since the opening bounce this game. And players might be starting to get a little tired. Goods.
He handballed it. Why is that throwing the ball?
Umpire might have been blindsided, but the Bombers get a break, and they reckon they deserve one. McVeigh about to send it inside 50. They could take the lead back again.
Well, Adam Goods was mystified when that free kick was paid.
And he turns it over. Matlin says, let's calm it down, boys.
That's probably not a bad idea. The tempo the game's being played at.
Yeah, I like that from Marty Matlin. Now you're just trying to hit some targets. But the defensive pressure's been outstanding. The transition from both sides to go from offence to defence hasn't allowed teams just to hit targets.
Look at that for a shiner.
Yeah.
That's when he's headed the ground.
Yeah, I think he got the double
clash.
Kabunsky. He got one in the melon, and then he hit one.
The double one?
The double Kabunsky.
Yeah, they also he's been working on his neck, the back of his neck there, boys. But double Kabunsky.
I've never heard that.
I don't think anyone has.
We might even have to explain it later. Zaharakis bumped off it. Davey tries to knock it on. Matner spins back, spins into Watson. Hurley played for a free and got it. Too high, and he might be within range. When these two teams met in round 2, he was a villain for the Bombers. They lost by 5 points, and he kicked 2 goals 4.
That's what he can do, though, Dwayne. He can get a journey.
That's right. Had he kicked 4-2 that night, Bombers would have won. This is a huge kick for the lead back again. From 53, and he misses.
He kicked it into the crowd.
Misses
missed everything. While that was going on, Hanbury's come back onto the ground, and that's a fantastic effort after getting crunched.
Sydney still lead. If you've joined us late, Essendon's biggest lead tonight has been 7 points. Sydney's biggest lead tonight has been 18 points. From the kick in. Off hands, Hurley tried to keep it alive, but couldn't. Sydney's 18-point lead, for the record, was in the opening minutes after they kicked the first 3 goals of the game. Hanbury banged up.
Terrific young player, Daniel Hanbury, and showed enormous courage going back with the flight of it.
Back into play. Flick back. Almost worked for Ryder to Watson. McGlynn. Good tackle, no Pryor. Play on advantage. Jack. Hanbury.
He's gone again.
Fantastic effort. Loses it though. Carlisle back. Myers to Stanton. You'd think they're going the other way. McVeigh backtracks to halfback. Almost a fullback to Fletcher. Good pass though. Out to the open side they want to come. Melcher.
The pressure's just relentless, isn't it? Both sides, just a real credit to them. You mentioned Duano. You'd have to think they're going to be tired for the last quarter.
Davey plays on quickly. Hocking can get and go. He's got the pass target. Zaharakis.
Just didn't get enough on it. Oh, look at this. There's three of them.
Hit ball, bang! Will he get a mark or a push? Take your pick. He will line up to give the Bombers back the lead.
Thought the Hocking kick was too short to Zaharakis because he was actually 10 metres deeper inside the attack and 50 could have had a shot for goal. But he turned around and there was 1, 2, 3 Bombers lined up next to each other. You can't really blame Kieran Jagger. It's not like he poleaxed him. He actually half pulled out.
I tell you what, Kieran, I think he misjudged the ball because he could have actually spoiled that ball.
Yeah.
He probably thought it was going to get there quicker than what it did.
Dyson Heppel, the best young star in the game right now. Favourite for the NAB Rising Star. Hasn't missed a game in his debut year. But he misses this shot and scores a level.
He's had another good game tonight. Dyson Heppel, that's his 20th possession, as we saw. Giving him plenty of drive out of the middle. He's been a bit more around the footy tonight.
Sure. Ticked into time on third term. Ryder! Big leap! Spectacular mark! And the crowd enjoyed that. Heads to the square. Hill down there. Can't mark. Beats the pack. Bombers in front.
But it was the right kick. David Hill got the one-on-one contest and he actually asked for clarification from the umpire why he didn't get a free kick for holding. It's a strange kick out to 1 against 2 tools.
It's a bit like kick the kick in the schoolyard, isn't it? Kicking up like that to
He was a metre out of it. He was so far out of the square there. Not allowed to touch any part of the line. I reckon he was completely over it. He's not allowed to touch any part of the line. Oh, half the foot's outside. Good decision. Don't know why players get that close to it.
It's amazing when you got 10 metres.
Perfect spot for a ball up. And Goods knocks it through on the full. That's a free kick. You can't do that. And Goods doesn't even know.
He's just showing a lack of knowledge of the rules there.
That's, Adam, you're not allowed to do that.
That's a lack of knowledge of the rules from one of the game's best.
Bombers in front by 7 in the blink of an eye.
I think that's just that implied pressure at the moment, both teams. And sure, you mentioned Jace just shouldn't do it. You got 10 metres, but I think there's a bit of implied pressure. And the same thing for Adam Goods here.
But have a look at the look on his face after the decision's given. He goes, what? What's that for?
Yeah, he needs to go and get the rule book out, Goodsy.
That's just not knowing the rules.
15 years ago, you could do that.
Yep. Not now.
New rule brought in a few years ago. Ruckman can't knock it through on the full.
That might have been John Longmire just asking someone to go and explain the rules to Adam Goods, please.
Yeah, it might have been a little bit more pointed than that, I would have thought.
Well, I was trying to clean it up for easy.
From the ball up. Bombers with some momentum. Jack just got a handball away. Hocking through some traffic. Dyson scoots it wide. I can spell another quick one. Milksham to Jenner. Oh, not sure what he was doing there. He gathers it regardless. Zaharakis kick smothered. Davey went for the shepherd instead of going for the ball. Parker back to Goods. Takes them on. Straight down the middle. Kennedy. Bombers by 7. Quick kick inside 50. Carlisle getting back. Handball smothered. Trent Dennis Lane. Was he caught high? He's dragged down. Howlett tries to burst his way through. No prior opportunity. Ball up.
Gee, it's hot. It is so hot at the moment.
It is unbelievable. Just the pressure. Both teams are just exceptional in their pressure skills.
Hurley having a rest. A stunning game. Played at an astonishing pace. Milksham, kick smothered. Dyson, Watson, Stanton, and they're away. Hardingham open side. Monfries can run. He can have another bounce if he wants it. He can have another or go to Hill. He goes to Hill, who can go himself. Pass targets, he goes for Remus. 50 from goal. A dance step, side step, kicks a goal. Brilliant!
we've had absolutely everything today. A lot of pressure, and then now we've seen a coast-to-coast goal. Great ball movement from the Bombers here. I think it was Watson that started with a really clever handball coming out of a stoppage off half-back. Really nice ball movement. Hill gets it, great spread. Nice composure there. Remus just steps inside Kennelly. Chase from Grundy. And a fantastic finish from Remus. Really, really good passage of play.
4 goals to Kyle Remus, proving a real thorn in the side of the Swans. This game's being played at such a hectic pace. There is a great opportunity for both substitutes to come on and have an impact tonight. We've got Malcheski waiting for the Swans and young Ross for the Bombers.
26 minutes gone, wobbly bounce, Howlett off the deck. Canterbury put his head down again, that buffeted head. O'Keefe, he can't get it out. Pack forms, still in there. Umpire gives them time, an enormous amount of time. And now we're sorted out with the ball up.
Now, boys, just a quick one. Looks to me like Malcheski, the Swan substitute, is coming onto the ground, and Dennis Lane is coming off the ground here for the Swans. So he's been wearing his green sub jacket there like a vest, like a cape for the last couple of minutes while he's been waiting for Dennis Lane to get the red one on.
Well, I reckon the timing's right. That's a good decision.
Goods peels onto it. He bangs a 60-metre kick to Reid, who fumbles it. Myers gets it up to Fletcher. Fletcher tried to knock it back. Jude Bolton a steal. Floats it towards goal. Jetta, fumble, dragged down McVeigh. Spectacularly good, Fletcher.
Gee, I thought he was a little bit soft over the footy there, Lewis Jetta. It was a good kick. He had to keep his feet. He had to take the mark. He just had to be a little bit stronger in the contest. Brushed off too easily.
So Malcheski the sub on. Dyson inboard. Heppel.
They wouldn't want to let the Bombers kick the next goal, the Swans.
No, they're up and about.
Kick smothered. Standing. Heppel. Through traffic. Cramery gets it up. Hocking. Back again. Stanton. They're taking it on the Bombers. And he pumps it. Hurley. 60 out.
Got Hill calling for it long.
He puts it up high for the big man. Can he get the jump? Off hands. Davey. Hill. Still Hill. Wants a handball target. Jetta buffeted off it. Still alive though. Swans can't rush it. Cramery can't run it. Umpire looks up. Says I'll have it.
Was that Craig Bird versus David Hill? That was an outstanding... And he was caught in front to Bird, I think. Great effort just to spoil and bring the ball down the ground.
This is frenetic stuff.
From the top of the square. Mumford down to Smith. Can't get a kick away. Howlett. Didn't get one for too high. Now got it. They've got him. Umpire waits. That's nasty.
It's just a bit of a shame when that happened. Probably dragged it in, made it a free kick, but you just... The way the game's been played...
He threads the needle. Mumford through traffic there.
To Bird. We're down to 3 minutes.
I know Bombers supporters would like it, but for the contest itself, we'd probably like Sydney just to kick one before three-quarter time.
Parker got one.
That's been the pattern, hasn't it? Here we go again.
O'Keefe play onto advantage.
Goods on Heppel, yeah.
Kennedy looks up.
Just kick it long.
He sees Goods. Goal square. Heppel's with him. Fletcher getting back. They both go for it, both miss it. Heppel can rush it. He takes on Goods, who falls.
Gee,
It just took too long.
way too long.
Watson, after Hanbury missed it. He might be still shaken up, Hanbury. Zaharakis. We're down to 2.5 minutes of this amazingly quick and inspiring contest. Carlisle to McVeigh. Cramery. Richards. Cramery can't mark. Davey can't crumb. Richards gets it. Gives it off just in time. Grundy, but it'll be coming back. Ryder just off the bench. Short pass. Missed Hurley. Hit Teddy Richards.
What a shame. It would have been the perfect entrance from the interchange bench. Paddy Ryder.
So Trent Dennis Lane's night is over.
He's just looking a little bit tired, the Swans.
Bombers have their biggest lead of the game right now, 13 points. They're going to need the biggest last quarter of their year. Out wide. Smith buffeted off it. Got to remember, this is a team coming off a bye, the Sydney Swans, against a team coming off a 6-day break, the Bombers. whose fitness has been questioned all year. Their whole season could hinge as Ryder flies and plucks on the last quarter coming up. Fletcher.
Neither team will want to make a mistake here. Just a goal either way going into the last quarter. Certainly if Bombers get a goal, makes it really difficult for the Swans.
I don't think this is helping going backwards so quickly.
Well, the Swans are now really pushing up. It's a one-on-one. They're going to have to kick it long.
There's a big man to get it over Mumford. Myers knocked it down. Ryder, is that 15?
Oh, they got out of jail there.
Only just.
Dyson. Down to 50 seconds. Primary calls for it on the wing. Richards is with him. And Richards' fist wins out. Get a ball in with 46 on the clock. Essendon right now with their biggest lead of the game, 13 points. Swans have had the lead a few times tonight. The biggest lead they've had has been 3 goals. Been tight from the outset. Jack tucked into that. McGlynn takes them on. Jude Bolton on the lead, front spot. Hands to it, couldn't mark it. Hardingham. Oh, Good's got in the middle of them. He towed it through. That'll count.
It's a freak.
He towed that through.
He had to kick the last one because he hit the other one with his knee, the one just before that.
I think he kicked it 3 times. Once with his knee, once with his shin, and then finally with his foot. But the ground he made up here, you watch him behind Fletcher, and was that Hardingham? Behind Hardingham and Reid. 1, 2. He's had 3 swings at that. And a karate kick to finish.
You're right. In 5 metres, he put a burst of speed on that took him straight past 2 Essendon players.
Yeah, great effort. Great effort.
Was it actually a goal?
I don't know.
That's a
I
good
don't know
point.
if that last one was over the line or not, because the one before, well, whether they're saying it hit his shin and not his knee, because the shin's okay. The shin's okay.
I think the second one hit the shin. The first one hit the knee.
Very close to the knee, that second one, I reckon.
7 points the margin. O'Keefe with 20 seconds left to Reid. Good hands.
One out Goods. You've just got to kick it there long.
He's not leading. He's on the move. Fletcher with him. Good fist, Fletcher. Seconds tick. Kennedy. Kick smothered.
Gadget.
Inspector.
It's amazing.
As you said, we've got a hand in, and it's 3/4 time at Etihad Stadium. You doubt this game could get any better than the first 3 quarters. But given what's hinging on this final term, I wouldn't be going far. 13-7, 85 to 12-6, 78. Season could come down to this. Can they run it out? They lead by 7. Ryder, Mumford, Goods, the clearance. To half forward, Jetta attacks it. Can't take it and falls. Watson, clever knock. McVeigh.
Really good kick. Really good kick.
Can he find a chest? Jetta. Manhandled by Smith.
Yep, free kick. No.
And was that given or play on advantage?
I thought he was about to pay the free kick.
Hocking to Jetta to Howell. Maintaining possession, keeps it low. Zaharakis plays on, pumps it inside 50. Stanton almost the mark. Richards the crumb. Gets it up. Smith wide. Fletcher. Front spot on Lewis Roberts-Thompson. Myers took the ball and took the heat. Hurley, couple to beat, buffing it off it. Hits the back. Little bump on Smith, but he got the kick away to the wing. Fletcher knocked down. No free. And Fletcher looks at the umpire. Not one to normally argue.
Found it tough getting into the game, Lewis Roberts-Thompson. Dustin Fletcher's beaten him comprehensively. He's kept Fletcher to 13 possessions, so I understand the defensive role, but he's also got to try and have an impact on the scoreboard.
Howell at the sidestep, clever. Took on 2 tacklers. Free man Hocking gives it up to Monfries. Melksham feeding back, got to be a free. Crowd thought it was. Melksham must have played for it. Matner heads wide, marked on the line by Johnson.
Well, they keep threatening to hurt the Swans with their spread from the contest, the Bombers. That's one of the things you spoke about before the game, Ruzi. They spread beautifully, the Bombers, very quickly once they win possession.
There's your arm on the shoulder. Now there's a free, and it's going Sydney's way.
Yeah, you're right. It just looks like the Bombers have got a bit more run having said that, we've seen both teams coming back at certain stages when they're challenged. So Essendon leading by 7 points. The pattern of the game's been the other team comes back. So
it's a race.
Malcheski, the fresh man, kicks to half forward. Jetta, not a lot to go to. Threads it to Bird, to Kennelly. Shoots it up. Terrible handball. Put Jack under enormous pressure. Kennedy, regardless, toward goal. Shaw getting back, can't attempt the mark.
Well, that's one big move, isn't it? Reece Shaw going forward for the Swans. So they put him there to try and snag a couple of goals. Just a poor hand pass from Kennelly probably cost them a regulation shot for goal there.
Fletcher to Zaharakis. Sydney did at least have an experienced stub to bring on.
And again, they've pushed right up here, Sydney. The press has pushed right up, trying to keep the ball deep in their forward half.
Malcheski, an experienced sub, whereas Michael Ross is just in game 2, the sub for the Bombers, who hasn't been used yet. Hocken gets one for too high. Crowd roars its approval. Finally, they get one. Hill works to the wing. Open forward line. Jetta in a one-on-one. Hurley will do. Buffeted it under the ball. Smith to the back. It continues to be played at a breakneck pace, this game. Bird, back pocket.
And you wondered, Wayne, you mentioned about Ross being inexperienced. You wonder whether there's a bit of reluctance maybe just to release him at this stage, because it is such a high-pressure game.
Melksham floats in. Mumford, good contest. Hardingham thrown after. Got to be a free.
Well, you don't want to give away 50, Benny McLean. Don't say too much.
Who is the mark target? It goes wide.
Tough.
Stanton, pocket. And he juggles that over the line.
Yep, it's a throw-in. Oh, no.
They're playing it. The umpire said clean contact.
Called for a throw-in first up, the umpire, then spoke to the boundary umpire. He said, OK, pay the mark.
Gee.
He was standing right there, too.
Yeah, he saw him fumble it, but then he took the word of the boundary umpire.
And this becomes a massive kick. Tries to bend it. Hill can't mark. Richards, Crumbs, dances his way through some traffic. Kennedy runs back. Protection in the end for Johnson, who can take off.
Got to go all the way.
He's got Shaw in a one-on-one in the square, or he can go for goal. He's being run down. He keeps it low. Shaw beaten for it. Front spot McVeigh, and he takes off. That could be a huge little move in the context of this game. He ducked back to front spot McVeigh and took the mark. Melksham floats it. Dyson protects. Heppel gets there, just inside the line. No, it's called out. Ball in.
He had to have the shot for goal, Johnson. I'm not sure if he just tried to punch one low and didn't get enough on it. But he could even have had... Well, there's a little fumble there. That's a ball up. That's a throw-in. Yeah, shouldn't have been a shot for goal there.
Yeah, I think Johnson got caught halfway, didn't he? He didn't have a shot and he didn't really pass it. It was a nothing bounce. Yeah, it was a nothing. He should have kept on going, yeah.
Hanbury high. Lewis Roberts Thompson. Goods off hands. To level the score. Amazing.
Again, he could have had a bounce and kept going.
Well, yeah, he should have had... That's 3 goals too. He should have had 5 goals. The 2 he's missed have been 2 goals running into open goals where he should have had an extra bounce.
The 2 easiest ones.
Yeah.
Monfries to Carlisle, back to Myers. Still got Monfries as the get out. Cramery hasn't seen a lot of it tonight. High. Hurley. Hand on it. Richards right with him. Heppel comes in. Slap down. Davey to Hurley. Missed again.
Going back to Adam Goods, though, even though he's missed a couple of easy goals tonight, he still looks the most capable player winning the game for the Swans.
Oh, absolutely, because I don't think there's any doubt about that. I think sometimes he just runs too quickly when he goes to kick the footy. Just can't steady.
O'Keefe. Everybody takes a breath. Crowd has been on the edge of their seats from the outset. Crazy things like that have been happening all game.
Good attack by Benny McLean.
And the kick, not so good. It's wide. Fletcher, Goods. On the line, it was knocked out.
He's a supreme athlete, though, Adam Goods. He's the one, as Pickers said, he's got the run in his legs. He's still got the zip, still got the sprint that can break the lines.
Bombers coming off a 6-day break. Swans coming off a bye. O'Keefe, manhandled off it. McGlynn, Jude Bolton, both there. Jude gave it to O'Keefe to half forward. Off Reed's hands. Play on. He won the free, but he plays on. Kennedy short, good.
Oh, nearly topped that. Even that decision there to play on. Reed hasn't had time to realise or let the decision sink in that he's actually got a clean possession from the free kick. He's just followed up to grab the loose ball, which is your normal instinct, and he's under pressure straight away. No advantage at all.
I think that's twice today the umpires have preempted the play on.
Yeah, not only that, he's on his left foot on the boundary.
Yes.
He's kicked 3 goals, 2 tonight. And the 2 have been easy misses. From just inside 50, it's bending back. Not enough. Post. He's kicked 3 goals, 3.
How much drama is there going to be in this game?
It faded late, didn't it? From us, it looked like it was going to go straight through the middle, and all of a sudden it faded. It was a great kick from Joey Kennedy to Adam Goods, too.
Good score.
Good work rate from Johnson and Hill. Johnson runs back. And a good inclusion, Alex Johnson. Game number 14 for him.
Another great athlete. Yeah, another great athlete with size.
Lewis Roberts-Thompson. Hill with the flick down. Kennedy. Arms free. Jude Bolton to the square. Fletcher's down there. Goods. Fletcher again with the backhand. He can do it all.
Decent Frank. Little back fist over his head.
One of the all-time greats. In fact, 2 of the all-time greats right there on your screen. Hill flicks it down. Watson took some time to Fletcher. Bangs it wide in hope. Remus, Reed both attacked it. Reed knocked it to his own advantage. Inboard, Hanbury. 50 from goal. A goal would put them in front. Top of the square instead, O'Keefe. Great play.
Yeah, and a good kick to a contest that suited him. Probably better in the air than Joe Watson, but also he kicked it to the advantage of Ryan O'Keefe where that contest was situated. In front of him, so he could use his body to hold Watson off.
Yeah, nice body work too. Just met him a little bit early, but as you said, Ryan O'Keefe probably just a bit better overhead than Watson.
What a quiet night at the office for Ryan O'Keefe. 12 possessions. And he sneaks that in, and the Swans in front at the 10-minute mark.
Just a couple of players that have been quiet, Dwayne. You mentioned Jude Bolton and Ryan O'Keefe. Just got involved the last 2 or 3 minutes for the Swans. Jude Bolton's had a couple of really important clearances, and Ryan O'Keefe here mentioned Jason. Really nice kicker. Just sat it up. Didn't really give Joe Watson a chance. Ryan O'Keefe is a really nice overhead mark, played a lot as a forward. Just good body work, early body work, and nice hands.
Well, good luck if you can predict what's going to happen over the last 12 and a half minutes of this match. There's barely been a kick in it throughout the course of the evening. 3 goals one way, 2 goals the other way, and that's been the top of it.
Have subbed Melksham, boys, and put young Ross on for the Bombers. He's on the bench still, but he's coming on shortly.
Howlett with the initial smother, but it was still a Swans ball. Kennedy breaks free from 50, goes for goal, and misses.
Kennedy, he's one of the strongest players that play in the game of football. He very rarely, never goes to ground, and he very rarely gets tackled. He's got an amazing capacity to stand in a tackle and shrug it off.
Dyson, just his 5th game of the year. It's been important. Monfries, that could be an important miss. Hanbury wide, McGlynn.
He punches the ground in frustration, Angus Monfries. It hurts now. Look at Jude Bolton. Oh, gee, I thought he had to use him. He's on a really tough angle, Benny McGlynn. He had Jude Bolton in a much better position, decided not to risk it, and that's okay if you back yourself in. Confident about the kick.
For an 8-point lead in this amazing seesawing battle. Starts at left and doesn't bring it back enough.
Yeah, those little mistakes too are going to make a huge difference. Mumfrey's drop mark on the wing. Just that concentration, been a frenetic game, so players are naturally going to be tired. But just mentally, you're going to have to keep yourself switched on right to the end of this game.
Expect him to go, well, you normally expect him to go really long. That's a chip kick, but it still is marked outside the 50.
To the sub, Michael Ross. Michael Ross in game 2, just on. Little mistake to start with. Almost overzealous with the tackle. Fletcher waited for the bounce, threads the handball through, and now they're clear. Carlisle,
Dangerous kick.
Goes for distance. Matner, Ryder. Matner, fumble, runs into his own man. Back to Kennelly. Does a full circle. Reed. Goods wants it long.
Well, he's on Dyson. That's why they should be kicking it to him, but that's a really
wide.
good kick.
Parker.
He can still go to Goods if he's not confident of the set shot. With back Adam Goods. Oh, Goods is going spare.
He's got to get it in, young Luke Parker.
He needs to kick the distance now.
Yeah.
Because Adam Goods was furiously waving the arm saying, come on, I'm one out in the goal square on Ricky Dyson. I'll win that 9 times out of 10.
Jake Milcham's night is over. Parker to make it a 9-point lead. Drifts back a little. It's a 4-point lead.
Yeah, you just need to get it on quicker. Adam Goods versus Dyson, you mentioned. 9 out of 10 he'll mark those.
Every possession has weight added to it right now.
Wants to go long to right by the looks of it.
Dyson puts it up. Monfries is going to have to go. Doesn't go, and Hanbury marks.
Had a good last few minutes down Hanbury too.
Tries to thread that through on.
Good call, Pickers.
Standing wide. Hill runs into it. Arm slap free, surely. And he wins it. We've played 13 minutes. Final term. It's a 4-point game. Bombers will be in the 8 tonight if they win. And that's a great mark, Johnson.
The difference is the game's being played at Sydney's end. They've had 11-5 inside 50s in this quarter.
Backing back Hardingham, that's a splendid grab as well. Plays on through traffic. Dyson gives it up. Remus tries the spear, can't get it through. Grundy left it behind. Bird mopped up his mess. Kick smothered from Johnson's boot. Stanton, he's got a couple to go for. Hurley's wide, up, and Matner wins out.
A little bit surprised at the Melcham interchange, whether he's injured, because
he's a good athlete.
He's a good athlete, he can run. And you just think about a Davey maybe forward. Cramery's hadn't had a great game, although Cramery can kick you a goal. So it's a little bit of a strange sub.
Jetta couldn't grab it. Davey does, but Malcheski grabs him. Get a ball up.
Well, Nick Malcheski's been on since just before three-quarter time. He's only had the one kick, so hasn't had any impact at all thus far. Started up on a wing in this last term.
Malcheski had it, lost it. Ryder through some traffic. Hurley bumped. Almost Ross off the deck. Hurley almost got on his way. Still a mad scramble. Tunnel ball through. Kennedy tried to shoot it up. Essendon getting numbers there now. 15 players around the ball. Matner rolls it, and it'll roll out. Ball in.
That was verging on ridiculous. A couple of Essendon players putting their hands up saying that's deliberate. He was pushed as he kicked it, and it went out 2 metres from a teammate.
50 from goal. Mumford, front spot. Jetta. Manhandled by Malcheski, no free. Jack had it but lost it. Hanbury, who's been inspiring to Goods.
No one to kick to it.
Yeah, Reed's running back, running hard. Lewis Jetta in the centre of the ground.
Takes on Myers and wins. Fletcher stands under it with Reed. Back of the pack, Howlett. Hardingham makes ground. Jetta's got 3 to beat here. Runs, contest with Mumford. Spectacularly good. Dyson kicks toward half forward. No one there. Race on. Cramery can't get there in time. And we'll get a ball in.
Yeah, great effort by Jetta on the wing versus Mumford. Outstanding.
Sydney has not beaten Essendon here for 6 years. Essendon have owned this venue against the Swans. They are desperate. Have they got it left? Watson sides his way through, but the kick smothered. Hanbury knocked it down. Watson gets it back. Handled to Ross. Beaten for it. Shaw knocks down. Hanbury just in time to Smith. Out of side. Jetta and McVeigh. For the young and the old. Clever head. McVeigh gathered ball. Got the kick away, but was tackled. Matner. No one to go to except Goods. In a one-on-one, and he found him.
Open goal square. Ben Reed leads up and leaves it open.
Goods wants to go for goal. He pops it up. Hardingham nearly overcommitted. McGlynn almost wraps him up. Still being played at a frenetic pace. McGlynn ducked into that tackle. Crowd wanted ball, don't get it. Hardingham towards the wing. Jetta got there first. 60 from goal. Dyson gets back. Needs to go. He missed it. Swans
couldn't find the goals when he first started playing, Rosie. In his first one, I think he kicked 17 or 18 straight points.
Yeah, look, and that's what we recruited him for at the time. Great. Dan Hanbury, and I think Picker's mentioned, he's had an outstanding last quarter. He's been exceptional. And this is what Jeddah can do. We saw that on the tape when we scouted him. Really nice finish from outside 50 and a really important goal for the Swans.
"17 and a half minutes gone. A ton of time left in this. Have the Bombers got a roll of the dice left?
You have to think, yes.
Watson to Hocking. A fumble. Pursues it. Monfries for the instant reply. Sends it goalward. Too low. Hill can't get there. Grundy marks.
Again, he did that earlier in the game. He's anticipating a lead from David Hill. He wants it up in the air.
We had perfect position on Grundy over the top. It needed to be a kick to the advantage. Terrible.
To Goods. To Bird. 2 goals away from the lead. And this season might come down to this last 6 minutes and 17 seconds, the Bombers.
Adam Goods is out of juice, coming off for a spell.
Mumford ran under it. Heppel has had his spell. Carlisle. Ryder caught. Handball. Mumford back in from outside the boundary. Jack hacks it inside 50. Jeddah, he's stolen that from the second gamer.
Oh, gee whiz. Should have spoiled the young fella, but we'll learn.
That's a great mark from Jeddah. It looked like it was floating over his head.
He can jump.
Adam Goods has been the one that has provided the run, the spark, the leads. He's kept the ball, helped to keep the ball forward. But now Lewis Jeddah, after kicking the last one, can just go bang, bang and really dent Essendon's chances.
For 16 points. Post.
He's got a really good vertical leap, Lewis Jeddah.
It's unbelievable to take a mark when you can't even see the ball. That was a brilliant mark.
Yeah, he was a bit stiff, the young fellow, wasn't he?
Fletcher keeps it low. No one really wanted it. McGlynn takes the mark. Shorts at Hanbury.
I wonder whether Benny McGlynn called Watson out there, because, I mean, Watson's got tremendous courage. So you're not going to question his courage, but he just let that one go over his head.
Not sure that they knew who it was intended for. Well, this is a big kick, a massive kick now. If they can get more than 2 goals in front, you nearly back Sydney to shut the Bombers out of it over the last 4 or 5 minutes.
A 17-point margin from just inside the paint. It drifts, and it's a 2-goal game.
They've been wasteful in front of goal, the Swans. Plenty of opportunities.
14-14 now.
The Bombers would almost take a draw right now. Cramery takes the mark and takes off, but is caught. Short kick. Reid and Hocking go at it. Off hands. Jack, big ball to win. Gets it up to Reid. Got his arms free toward Matner. Poor bounce. Jeddah attacks it. They all go hard. Smith on the bottom. Tried to thread it through. Umpire says ball.
That's tough.
He hasn't even got it.
No, actually Jeddah had it.
Stanton. He can get and go. Hill wants it long and high. Stanton looks up. Hill still screaming. He goes short to Hurley. Needs to give it back. He pumps it across the face of goal, and there's no one home. Kennelly has time to fumble. We're down to 4 minutes. Essendon's season is on death row.
Well, the forward line's gone missing in this last quarter. There's no movement at all there.
I'll tell you what, if he comes back this way, that's a really dangerous kick.
To Mumford.
Adam Goods has just snuck on and he's on his own.
Jeddah, he missed Malcheski with the handle. Cramery on the rebound. Zaharakis, Stanton, Davey, shrugs the tackle, looks up, goes for goal. They have life. It's a 1-goal game.
Well, Lewis Jeddah put him in front by 10 or 11 points before, and now he has cost the Sydney Swans a goal. It was a horrendous mistake in the middle of the ground. It looked like
also a really bad tackle here on Davey.
Yeah,
Someone's got Davey cold. Marty Matner, you had to take the body. What a game. And this This is where the misses come back to haunt you. They've had 6 extra scoring shots, Sydney, to lead by 6 points.
There've been a couple of posters in this last quarter as well, the Swans.
3.5 minutes away. The Bombers are 3.5 minutes from the 8. They're a goal from the lead, and the Sydney Swans, 7th on the ladder right now, need to win because a home final waits them from 6th. They need to start climbing to get a home final. And we'll get another ball up. 5th and 6th is a home final, 7th and 8th isn't.
And the bad news for the Bombers is Goods is back on with a little spell under his belt.
Hill the flick down. Stanton kick smothered by Jack. To half forward. Hardingham buffeted off it. Carlisle holds his ground. Hardingham, Dyson rolls it wide. Howlett pursues. Bird right with him. Howlett gave it up and then went and got it. Spectacularly good. They could level the scores with a goal. 6 points to margin. Marked by Hurley, who will have the shot from 50.
Well, when players get tired, they go to ground.
Down to Hill here.
Long, Hill, he goes and gets! Held it long enough, surely!
There's nothing surer late in games when players go to the ground. We saw Craig Bird try to make a tackle. He then went to ground. I think it was Howlett that kept his feet. And that's why they were then able to carry the ball forward and hit targets.
And he was all at sea there, Lewis Roberts-Thompson, with his spoil as well.
Everyone on the edge of their seats. Scores a level.
Only moments ago we were saying if Daniel Hanbury can kick one that puts him 3 goals up, they'll probably get home. Well, you have a miss on the top of a miss just before that, and it's all square in the twinkling of an eye.
Well, in the context of the game, you just got to take your chances, but we're running out of superlatives for this game. It's just been an exceptional game. Every time we think one team's got the advantage, the other team comes back.
There is a deafening roar ringing around Etihad Stadium.
He had a diabolical miss early in the game, David Hill, but has he bounced back? 19 possessions and 3 goals to the Essendon big man.
Clearance, vital. Jack gets it. Watson stands under it. Goods punches it away. Reid tries a slick handball. Paddy Ryder slips a handball out to Hocking. To half forward. Hurley! Crowd roars louder. Hocking needs to hit a target. Zaharakis lost it. Shaw goes back, gives to Johnson. Crameri tackles him and takes him out. 2 minutes left, scores a level.
It's just a game of centimetres at the moment, isn't it? Just a mistake here. Or we saw Reid with a nice slick handball, but it went out, just missed the target, went back to Essendon's way.
It has been relentless from the opening bounce, and it comes down to this. Hocking, if it bounces through, they'll take the lead. It's a behind. And you've got to take that right now.
Well, you do, but the danger is that you give possession up.
Well, Madden had to play on them, really.
Smith, run down, gets the kick away. Heckle! He's done some big things this year. That could be the biggest. Can he hit a chest?
They've got a man up, the Swans.
Zaharakis. Short. Hurley! He was the villain in round 2. He could be the hero in the rematch.
Well, he needs to take his full 30 seconds here. Wait till the umpire says that's 20 seconds. Milk the clock as much as possible. And then, most importantly, kick the goal. 2 scoring shots in 45 seconds, very, very difficult.
For the Bombers, it could be a season wrapped up in a kick.
Well, it needs to be a talk. It needs to be a talk down the middle of the ground, so the Essendon boys will know where it's going to go. You can see the Swans players all setting up there. Oh, it's an absolute Barry Crocker.
And he's
away with it.
to Richards.
What was that?
That might have been a set play.
Oh, look at the numbers pushing out to one side here.
Down to 35 seconds. He goes long. Reid. Carlisle. post. O'Keefe handballs up. 15 players around the ball. Myers, Ryder, hacked forward by Carlisle. Zaharakis, he marks that, they win. He can't mark it. Balcheski got a handball up just in time. Kennedy outside of the foot. Adam Goods goes up.
Oh, no! My goodness.
He'll kick after the siren.
The siren. Oh, no! Oh!
Roosey nearly jumped out of the box.
I thought he was going to kick it to Benny McLean.
The siren will go.
Oh, no!
Could you have asked for any greater drama in this match? In or out, Roosey? You know him well.
Gee whiz. He's kicked 3-3, so that's 50-50.
You're still on the fence.
Oh, look, he can hit it. He can hit him nicely. I'll back him from here.
They need a goal to win. The siren has sounded. He gives it some air. It's drifting. It's drifting.
Missed it.
He's missed. Essendon win one of the games of the year. Essendon by a point. And the footy gods pulled this one out of the box. Essendon are inside the 8. And they have revitalised their season.
Yeah, well, that's just an exceptional game from start to finish. We saw both teams should be congratulated. I know the Swans will be absolutely devastated, but it was just an exceptional game of football. We saw the ebbs and flows, but the intensity, Jason, the intensity of the game was there for the whole game. It wasn't as if one team would drop off. It's just the other team picked it up a notch. It just kept on going up and up and up a level. And just when you thought the Swans had won it, they missed a couple of chances. Lewis Jenner's handball through the middle of the ground missed the target and really got the Bombers back into the game. And full credit to the Bombers. They just kept on fighting and fighting and fighting. But what an exceptional game of football.
Some critical moments and some errors that crept into the game, but Adam Goods is distraught. We saw some tears in the Sydney cheer squad. But a fascinating contest, a brilliant game. And as disappointing as it is for that man and his team, Sydney, don't take any credit away from the Bombers, who looked dead and buried. A couple of goals down with only a few minutes left. To then come back and hit the front and hold on was fantastic. And I think Liam Pickering's down with the Essendon skipper.
Yeah, Joe, what a way to win a game.
That's not how you like to win it, mate. You're just hard in your mouth as Goods is going for the shot, and you know, sometimes they go in, sometimes they miss.
Tell you what, it was a great pressure game. What was it like to play in it?
Yeah, it was pretty hot. Certainly there'll be some sore guys tomorrow, but you know, that's the way Sydney play, and that's why they've been such a consistent, successful club, and we're trying to get there.
It looked like you weren't going to be able to get over the top of them in the end. Then all of a sudden, a couple of late goals. It looked like you were dead on your feet.
Yeah, it was sort of to and fro, and they got up and we got up, and the games that people love to come and watch, and I suppose that's a good game for footy.
It's a critical 4 points for you as well, mate.
It was. We spoke beforehand about taking steps to eventually get where we want, and as part of that is winning these games. So it's great for the fans, and we're lucky that we have so many supporters come out and watch us.
Nearly 40,000 here tonight. Well done, mate.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
You got to love this game.
Extraordinary stuff.
It's like a 2-hour highlight reel. Good crowd in at Etihad Stadium tonight. Critical game between two teams that are in contention, and it lived up to all expectations. 100-99 in the end. Don't go away. Jason Dunstall and Paul Roos to wrap it up. 15-10, 100 Essendon to Sydney, 14-15, 99.